Welcome to Elmridge Towers. Elmridge Towers was one of those upscale apartment buildings everyone in the city dreamed of living in. Modern glass exterior, a doorman in uniform, and views of the skyline that stretched for miles. It had a gym, an indoor pool, and a rooftop garden. Rent wasn't cheap, but for people like Claire Donovan, a rising lawyer at the city's most prestigious firm, it was worth every penny. Claire moved into Unit 6A, a corner apartment with natural light and polished floors. Everything was perfect until she noticed something strange. The unit next door, 6B, was supposed to be empty. The landlord had said it had been vacant for months. But on her first night, Claire heard footsteps coming from inside the apartment. Slow, deliberate footsteps. And sometimes a low hum. Not music, something more like chanting. The first encounter. At first, Claire assumed it was just her imagination. The walls were thin. Maybe she was hearing the floor above. But then she saw it. She was coming home late from work when the elevator doors opened on the 6th floor, and she saw a man standing at the door of 6B. He was pale, tall, and wore a dark coat, despite the warm weather. He didn't have keys. He wasn't unlocking the door. He was just standing there, staring at the peephole. Claire hesitated before walking past. "Hi," she said cautiously. The man slowly turned to face her. His eyes were dark and empty, like he hadn't slept in years. "Do you hear them too?" he whispered. "Excuse me?" The voices. From the walls. Then he turned, walked into the apartment, and closed the door behind him. The management denies everything. The next morning, Claire went straight to building management. "There's someone living in 6B, she said. "I thought it was vacant." The woman at the front desk frowned. "6B is still empty, ma'am. No one's leased it in over 4 months. "But I saw him." "There's no one in that unit. Maybe it was a guest on the wrong floor." Claire shook her head.
"No. He had a key."
"He went inside." The manager's smile faltered. "That's not possible." Claire didn't push. But something was definitely wrong. That night, she heard the sounds again, footsteps, then something dragging across the floor, and then tapping on her shared wall. The note under the door. 1 week later, Claire found a folded note slipped under her front door. "Do not trust the building. Do not go into 6B. They're not done with me yet." She had no idea who he was, but her instincts screamed to get out. Still, curiosity had a stronger pull. She waited until late one night, when the floor was quiet, and approached 6B. She knocked. Nothing. She knocked again. Then the door creaked open. Just a few inches. "Hello?" Claire whispered. No answer. She pushed the door open and stepped inside. The unit was dark. Empty. But it wasn't dusty. It looked recently lived in. There was a mattress on the floor. Burn marks on the walls. And dozens of papers taped up, symbols, scribbles, and dates written in red ink. At the center of it all was a single phrase. "They see through the light." Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her. Claire spun around in the darkness of Unit 6B, heart racing. The door had slammed shut behind her, on its own. No breeze. No one visible. She ran to it.
Locked.
She pounded on it, shouting, "Hello? Somebody." No response. Only silence until the hum began again.
Low.
Vibrating. All around her. She turned on her phone flashlight and scanned the room. The strange symbols covering the walls weren't random. They were arranged in a circle. In the middle, taped to the floor, was a photo of a man. It was the man she saw before. The stranger at the door. On the back of the photo were 2 words. "Find Elian." The hidden file. Claire eventually forced the door open and ran straight to the lobby. The desk manager, Miss Taryn, was gone. In her place was a new man Claire had never seen. "I need to speak to building security," she said, breathless. "Security's offline tonight, miss," the man replied. "Routine update." Claire's instinct screamed at her. This wasn't coincidence. She had to find out who the man was, who Elian was. Back in her apartment, she hacked into the Elmridge resident portal using a legal workaround she'd learned at her law firm. Searching old rental logs for Unit 6B, She found only one recent name. Elian Vargas. No forwarding address. No phone number. Just a lease termination notice, filed by the building itself. The reason? Psychological instability. Safety risk. But Claire wasn't buying it. The rooftop. The next evening, Claire went to the one place no one ever seemed to go anymore, the rooftop garden. It had been under maintenance for weeks, but her keys still worked. She climbed the stairs and stepped out onto the roof. There, standing at the far edge, was Elian.
Pale. Hollow-eyed.
The same man from before. "I told you not to come back," he said, without turning. "What's happening in 6B?" Claire asked. "What are you running from?" He turned around, eyes filled with sadness. "I'm not running. I'm hiding. The building, it's not what you think." "What do you mean?" "Elmridge Towers is part of something older. A signal. A test site. People think it's just bad wiring or weird tenants. But there are patterns." Claire stepped closer. "What kind of patterns?" "Every sixth tenant vanishes. Every sixth floor has a marked unit. Always B. They use light to observe, to test fear." Claire felt her stomach drop. Who is they? But Elian didn't answer. Instead, he took a deep breath and whispered, "They're watching right now." The blackout. The rooftop lights suddenly flickered and went out. The city skyline around her dimmed. Every window in Elmridge turned black. Claire looked around. Elian was gone. She ran down the stairs, only to find the 6th floor blocked off with red tape. A voice echoed through the hallway speakers. "Attention residents, a systems check is in progress. Remain in your unit." But Claire didn't return to 6A. She slipped through the tape back into 6B. The symbols were glowing now, faint red pulses like a heartbeat. And in the center of the floor stood a mirror.
New.
Large. Framed in silver. It hadn't been there before. She approached it.
Slowly.
In the mirror's reflection, she didn't see herself. She saw a tall figure in a coat, standing right behind her. The last note. Claire screamed and turned. No one was there. But the mirror remained. And taped to it was a new note. Handwritten. Shaking. "If you're reading this, I'm already gone. Elmridge doesn't let you leave. It lets you forget. They reset time. They erase memories. And one day, you'll forget this too. Just like me. Claire D." Claire dropped the note in horror. It was her handwriting. Epilogue. Apartment available. A week later, Elmridge Towers posted a listing. Unit 6A, 1-bedroom, skyline view. Newly vacated. Immediate move-in. And on the 6th floor, the lights flickered back to life. The mirror in Unit 6B remained. Waiting.